What if we could take something we're all pretty scared of? I'm talking about that long-lasting, dangerous nuclear waste and actually transform it into the one thing we desperately need for our future, clean, limitless fusion energy? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but a new breakthrough suggests it's a lot closer than we might think. So let's break down how this incredible idea actually works.
Okay, so here's the whole idea in a nutshell. On one side of the ledger, we've got this massive, massive problem, a toxic legacy of radioactive stuff that we just don't know what to do with. And on the other side, we have this incredible dream of clean fusion power. The surprising link between them, well, that's what we're going to get into.
You can think of it as a kind of modern-day alchemy, really. Scientists have figured out a way to turn this radioactive trash into one of the most valuable and sought-after fuels on the entire planet. It's about turning a huge problem into a seriously elegant solution. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, we gotta talk about fusion itself. The dream, right, is to copy the power of the sun right here on Earth. And to do that, fusion reactors need to smash two special types of hydrogen atoms together. But that's where we hit our first major wall.
So the two key ingredients are called deuterium and tritium, and the difference between them is just stark. Deuterium, no problem. It's abundant. We can literally pull it from seawater. But tritium, oh, that is the real problem. It's unbelievably, vanishingly rare.
Just how rare are we talking? Get this, the estimated total supply of tritium on the entire planet is only about 10 kilograms. That's it, 10 kilograms, barely enough to fill a small backpack. That's all we have to fuel a potential global energy revolution. It's the ultimate bottleneck. So here is the bottom line. We have this incredible vision for the future of energy, but we are fundamentally starving for one of its most critical ingredients. Without finding a new way to make lots of tritium, the whole dream of fusion power pretty much stays just that, a dream.
But this is where the story takes a turn. Researchers at the Los Alamos National Laboratory came up with this totally radical new idea. They looked at our piles of nuclear waste and saw something else entirely. A huge opportunity, one they described brilliantly as
the world's most radioactive piñata. And that analogy is just fantastic, isn't it? The idea is that locked up inside all that dangerous waste is something incredibly valuable. We just need to figure out how to smash it open and get the prize that's inside. So how in the world do you crack open a radioactive piñata? Well, the process is just ingenious. It involves a particle accelerator, some really clever physics, and a bath of molten metal. Let's walk through it step by step. All right, here's the play-by-play. First, you take your target. That's the nuclear waste, full of heavy stuff like uranium. Then, you need a projectile. A particle accelerator fires a beam of high-energy protons right at the waste. Bam, that's the collision. The impact causes something called spallation, which basically shatters the heavy atoms, blasting neutrons out in every direction. Step 4 is the catcher. All those free neutrons get caught in a bath of molten lithium-6 that surrounds the whole thing. And finally, you get the prize. A lithium-6 atom grabs a neutron, becomes unstable, and splits into two things, harmless helium and our incredibly precious tritium fuel. Let's just pause for a second on that key word, spallation. Okay, think of it like a cosmic break shot in a game of pool. You've got one particle, the proton, smashing into a big, heavy nucleus. But the nucleus doesn't just chip, it shatters, sending all these smaller particles, in this case the neutrons we want, flying everywhere. That reaction is the engine for this entire process.
And this is where the design gets really, really clever. That molten lithium, it's not just sitting there. It's a total workhorse doing 3 jobs at once. It acts as a coolant for this super high energy system. It's the perfect material for catching all those flying neutrons. And it acts like a conveyor belt, carrying away the brand new tritium so it can be harvested. It's just an incredibly elegant piece of engineering.
So we've seen how it works. But what's the real-world impact of this single, brilliant idea? Well, this is where the story gets even more compelling, because this process doesn't just solve one problem. It tackles 2 of our biggest technological headaches at the exact same time. Just look at this. It lays it out perfectly. Problem number 1, we have tons of dangerous nuclear waste that we have no idea what to do with long term. The solution? Repurpose it as a valuable resource. Problem number 2, we have a critical shortage of tritium fuel for fusion. The solution? This process creates a major new supply. It's a genuine 2-for-1 deal.
So how much tritium are we actually talking about here? The models from the researchers suggest that a single plant using this tech could produce about 2 kilograms of tritium every single year. Now, just remember that first number we talked about.
And here it is. This is the payoff. The entire world's supply is just 10 kilograms. A single one of these new plants could produce 2 kilograms a year. That means one facility could increase the world's entire supply by 20% every single year. That is an absolute game changer. Now, of course, this is all based on advanced modeling. The next huge step for the researchers is to actually build a proof of concept facility and show this can work in the real world. So, in the end, it really does bring us back to that old saying, just with a crazy 21st century twist. It really does turn out that one person's hazardous, multi-generational nuclear waste might just be another person's clean, limitless nuclear fusion fuel. And that really leaves us with one final big thought to chew on. For decades, we've looked at nuclear waste as the symbol of our failure, a problem we kick down the road for future generations. But what if we were looking at it all wrong? What if it isn't the problem? What if it's actually the key? Could our most dangerous waste actually become our brightest hope for the future?